The story began with John Kelly, a senior chief in the U.S. Navy SEALs, leading his crew deep inside Syria. Their mission is simple: get out a captured CIA agent. No room for mistakes, no second chances. They move in quick, and within seconds, the quiet is broken. Gunfire everywhere. John and his guys push forward, taking down threats one by one until they finally reach the captured agent. They grab him, and just as they're about to head out, something feels off. The people they just fought weren't Syrian. They were Russian soldiers. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't the mission they agreed to. Multiple Russian operatives are down, and now this isn't just a rescue. It's a worldwide problem. Back after it's all over, John faces Robert Ritter, the man who had full intel on the operation. "Why didn't you tell us Russians were involved?" "Because of that missing information, one of their guys is dead." He coldly replies, "The mission had to be finished." Cut to 3 months later, we see a totally different side of John. He's home, calm, relaxed, with his wife Pam, who's pregnant. And for the first time, John doesn't look like a soldier. He looks like a man who finally has something to live for. They're expecting a baby girl, and there's a small get-together at their house. But far away from this peaceful life, something dark is already moving. One of the SEAL team members from the Syria mission suddenly gets hit, struck by a car, dead. And just like that, it becomes clear someone is hunting them down. One by one, back at John's house, everything still feels normal. He talks softly with Pam, thinking about their future, their daughter. Later that night, after Pam falls asleep, John heads downstairs, puts on some music, just trying to unwind. And then the power goes out right here. Something feels very wrong. John instantly picks up on it. His instincts kick in. He grabs his weapon and starts moving through the house slowly, carefully. There are intruders inside. At the same time, a group of armed men enters Pam's room, and before John can get to her, they shoot her. One of the attackers even takes out his own partner, like he's cleaning up loose ends. John hears the shots, and now there's no holding back. He storms through the house, taking them down one by one. Every move is sharp, hard, unstoppable, until finally he reaches Pam's room. A man rushes out. John fires, but the attacker fires back. Both of them go down. John is badly hurt, struggling to even move. The other man somehow manages to get up and runs away, and then silence. John pulls himself across the floor inch by inch until he reaches Pam. Her body lies still, the bed covered in blood. And then everything goes black. Next thing we see, John in a hospital, barely alive. Meanwhile, a high-level meeting is happening. The officials confirm 3 SEAL members are dead. All of them connected to the Syria mission, including John, who is thought to be dead as well. The attackers found at John's house, all Russian. So now the idea is simple: retaliation, payback for what happened in Syria. But not everyone is convinced. Karen, one of John's closest friends and someone who was also part of that mission, faces Ritter again. She knows he's hiding something. He always knows more than he lets on. But once again, Ritter gives nothing. Karen, frustrated, walks away. Karen goes to see John because he's awake now. And the first thing John asks, "Is my wife okay?" There's a pause and Karen quietly tells him she's gone. And just like that, the strongest man in the room starts to fall apart. Tears fill his eyes. He asks, "Who did this?" Karen says they don't know. But John remembers something. There was another man in the room, already dead, and the one who shot him got away, which means one attacker is still out there. And John wants a name. But Karen refuses. Even if she knew, she wouldn't tell him because she knows exactly what he'll do next. And she's not wrong. Karen leaves the hospital, but she's not done digging. Something about this whole situation doesn't feel right to her. Soon after, she's called in by Secretary Clay, where Robert Ritter is already waiting, and this time, Ritter comes ready. He lays out the identities of the men found at John's house. All Russian operatives. Not only that, he also reveals the name of the person who sent them into the US. But then, strangely, he suggests they should close the case. Right there, it feels wrong. Karen doesn't argue in that room, but you can see it. She's not buying any of this. She immediately goes back to John and shares everything she knows. The identities, the connections, all of it. But John catches something important. There were 4 men. Karen only has details on 3. So, where is the 4th? The one who got away, the one who shot him, the one who might have all the answers. Karen admits they don't know anything about him, but they do know the man who sent them, and that's all John needs. Soon after, John is let out from the hospital. Physically, he's okay, but mentally, he's carrying something much heavier. He returns home, and the moment he steps inside, everything hits him at once. Every corner, every memory, it's all Pam, and he breaks down. Not as a soldier, but as a husband who lost everything. John pulls out hidden weapons, stashed cash, and without telling anyone, he disappears. He's not waiting anymore. He tracks down the man connected to the attackers, grabs him and drags him into a car. Then he sets the car on fire and steps inside. Now it's just the two of them surrounded by flames and calmly says, "Tell me the name." The man tries to twist it, saying, John himself is responsible for his wife's death. That wherever John goes, death follows. Big mistake. John shoots him in the shoulder and this time there's no patience left. Next one goes through your head. Finally, the man breaks. He gives a name, Viktor Rykov. Moments later, police show up and John is arrested. Now he's in prison, but even here, he's not safe. Karen comes to see him, warning that he's gone too far, that whoever is behind this might come for him. Even inside these walls. But John already knows. And more importantly, he knows something they need. He tells Karen if the CIA wants the truth, they'll have to get him out, and then something strange happens. Back in his cell, John picks up on Russian voices nearby. Right here, the danger feels very real. A guard comes to take him out, but John refuses. His instincts are screaming, this isn't normal. Within seconds, multiple guards rush in, and John, he fights back. Fast, hard, relentless. One by one, he takes them down until he grabs one and forces the others to back off. Then, a man walks over, hands him a phone. Karen's voice comes through. "We're getting you out." Soon, John is brought into a secured room with Clay, Ritter, and Karen. They want answers, so John gives them one. Viktor Rykov. The room goes quiet because officially that man is dead. Ritter immediately pushes back, says the name must be wrong. But when they show John a photo, he confirms it. It's him, which means Viktor is alive. And now this isn't just revenge. This is something much bigger. Ritter explains Viktor was a very dangerous operative, someone who had worked inside the US for Russia at a very young age, a ghost, someone who should not exist anymore. So they decide they need to find him, capture him, bring him in alive, and that's when John steps forward. "I'm leading this." At first, they hold back. He's unstable, emotional, too personally involved. But eventually, they agree. The team heads to Russia. But the moment their plane enters Russian airspace, they're attacked. Missiles hit. The plane goes down, crashing straight into the water. For a few seconds, it's complete chaos. Everyone is struggling to survive, fighting their way out of the wreckage. One by one, they make it out. But John, he stays back, because all their weapons, all their gear is still inside. And somehow, despite everything, he manages to pull it all out and make it back alive. When the team gets back together, something doesn't add up. This attack, it was too sharp, too perfect. And one name comes up again. Ritter, because he wasn't on the plane, and earlier, he also tried to shut down the case. Eventually, they track him down, and when they reach him, they see something unexpected. Ritter is already there, surrounded by local contacts, exchanging money. Clearly working his own plan, John loses control again that he moves toward Ritter, ready to end this right here. But Ritter quickly explains he thought they were dead after the plane crash. That's why he moved ahead alone, using local sources to track Viktor. And surprisingly, the people around him back it up. They really are there to give intel on Viktor. For a moment, things calm down, barely. The next day, Ritter leads them to a spot where Viktor is supposed to show up. As they get close to the building, John quietly breaks away from the team, slips ahead, and locks a door behind him. He doesn't want anyone stopping him. He moves deeper inside, and finally, he finds Viktor. But here's the twist. Viktor was expecting him. No panic, no surprise, just calm. And then he says something that changes everything. "I didn't kill your wife." That alone hits hard. But he doesn't stop there. He tells John that he was told to do it. That both of them are actually working for the same people. Different sides, same game. If you think you're a patriot, so am I. And before John can react, Viktor presses the trigger. A massive explosion. Viktor is gone, but somehow John makes it out barely. Moments later, the rest of the team rushes in. But before they can even take in what just happened, gunfire breaks out again. Snipers from a nearby building. One of their teammates gets hit, stuck in the open, unable to move, but they don't give up. With good teamwork, they manage to drag him back to safety, break through a wall, and get out of the building. Outside, it's even worse. Police everywhere. No clear way out. Karen immediately moves to take out the snipers, giving the team a chance to get away. She lines up her shot, but her weapon jams. And now it turns into close combat. A tough fight, but Karen holds her ground. And in the end, she takes the sniper down. John reaches her just in time, and together they regroup. But the situation's still serious. Surrounded from all sides. No clean exit. That's when John makes a decision. "I'll go to the roof." He plans to pull all the attention toward himself so the rest can get away. Karen refuses. She's not leaving him behind, but John looks at her and says something simple. If you want everyone to survive, trust me, and without waiting, he moves up to the roof. And then chaos. John starts throwing explosives, firing rounds, making as much noise and damage as possible. Within seconds, every officer in the area focuses on him. Exactly what he wanted. Meanwhile, Karen gets the others into a van and drives them out. John is alone now. Police fill the roof. Bullets flying from every direction. At the last second, John drops into the ventilation system, slipping back inside the building. He fights his way down floor by floor, taking out anyone in his path, but he's worn out, wounded, barely standing. And he knows there's no way out. So, he does the unthinkable. He sets off a massive explosion inside the building. Walls fall. The roof caves in. Rescue teams show up. Chaos everywhere, but hidden among them wearing a Russian uniform. John walks out. Unnoticed, he reaches a van, drives away, and meets back up with the team at a safe house. From there, they move toward a ship, getting ready to leave. But John realizes something. If he goes back to the US, he'll be locked up again. And the truth, buried forever. That's when Ritter offers him a way out. There's money on the ship. He can disappear, start fresh, and officially he'll be declared dead during the mission. After everything, John agrees. Time passes and one day he shows up in front of Secretary Clay alive. Clay is shocked. But John isn't here for a reunion. He's here for the truth. And finally, he says it out loud. This wasn't Russia. He reveals that people inside their own government set everything up. His wife's death, the killings. All of it. To build a bigger enemy, to push the world toward conflict. Clay doesn't react. And that silence says everything. John grabs him because now he knows if Clay was innocent, he would have been shocked, but he wasn't. Which means he's involved. John knocks him out, drags him into a car and drives away. When Clay wakes up, John starts pressing him for answers. Still nothing. So John does something extreme. He tells Clay they're heading to his farmhouse. And when they get there, he'll do to Clay's family what was done to his. And that breaks him. Clay finally talks that he explains everything. Wars aren't just won with weapons. They're won with money, with fear, with enemies. And right now, people don't fear a common enemy anymore. So, they created one, Russia, to bring people together again through fear. And hearing this, John finally understands. This wasn't personal. It was strategy. And his family was just collateral. There's a long silence. And then John says, "My wife's name was Pam. Say your name before you die." And then he drives the car straight into the water. Water rushes in. Clay panics, struggles, calls out Pam's name. And John, he just watches until Clay takes his last breath. After some time, we see a funeral. John Kelly officially dead. Karen stands there grieving. But as she walks away, she sees him alive, hidden, now a ghost. Later, Ritter hands over a recording to the CIA, proof of Clay's involvement. His entire plan exposed. Justice in its own way. Ritter has one request, a new identity for John, a passport, a clean slate. John says goodbye to Karen and leaves the country. Time passes and one day in Washington he comes back not as John Kelly but as someone new. He meets Ritter again and this time he has a plan, a new team made up of agents from different countries, something bigger than anything before. Ritter asks who's going to lead it and John. Without hesitation, I am. And right there, his story doesn't end. It evolves. Taking down an entire squad of elite soldiers is hard work. Supporting this channel is easy, just hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.